Welcome, dear viewers, to a journey through time and history. Today we delve into the story of the Tigray People's Liberation Front, an organization that has left an indelible mark on Ethiopia. In the heart of Ethiopia, nestled in its northernmost region, a significant chapter of history was being written in the mid-70s. This chapter, filled with tales of struggle, resistance, and hope, centered around the Tigray People's Liberation Front, often referred to by its acronym TPLF. Chapter 2, The Rise of TPLF.
In 1977, the great powers' attention shifted to the Horn of Africa. In July 1977, the Somalis seized large tracts of the Ogaden Desert. With Cuban troops and Soviet support, the Ethiopians drove the Somalis out of the Ogaden. Mengistu Haile Mariam basked in glory.
In the wake of the Derg's triumph in the Ogaden War and bolstered support from the Soviets, the TPLF faced a challenging period ahead. By February 1979, the TPLF convened its inaugural Congress, rebranding its struggle as the Second Wäyyanä and embracing a new political vision. Winning the hearts and minds of the local populace became paramount, driving the TPLF's ethos of discipline and respect for civilians. Despite the Derg's tightening grip, the TPLF's resolve only strengthened, aided by its adept management of famine crises and establishment of vital foreign alliances. From concealed headquarters nestled within caves to strategic outposts in Addi Geza'iti and Melfa, the TPLF meticulously orchestrated its resistance. Through unwavering determination and strategic adaptation, the TPLF's journey from regional liberation to national emancipation laid the groundwork for Ethiopia's future. In the midst of the Ethiopian civil war, strategic maneuvers and ideological shifts defined the landscape of conflict.
The most awful story this day, this week, this time continues to be the famine in Africa. The tragedy of men, women, and little children by the thousands dying of thirst, starvation, and disease. Clearly, the most disgusting sidebar story to this main event is the one of political murder, the continuing charge that with the silent acquiescence of the United Nations and others, the Ethiopian government is intentionally preventing food and other aid from reaching some of its people. They are the residents of the provinces of Eritrea and Tigray in northern Ethiopia near the Sudan.
Amidst the backdrop of famine and despair, the TPLF seized an opportunity to leverage the crisis to its advantage.
There is no point in fighting if the people are finished. This is the saddest time in my life. I have seen many desperate times, but none of them is as desperate as this one. Because the people that I am fighting for are dying because of lack of food. They are hardworking, but because of lack of support, because of lack of scientific agricultural practice, these people are dying because of no fault of themselves. That's the toughest thing for a fighter to face.
Established in 1978, the Relief Society of Tigray, REST, emerged as a beacon of hope, channeling international aid to famine-stricken regions and embarking on small-scale development projects. Despite its humanitarian facade, the TPLF resorted to unorthodox tactics, diverting funds intended for starving civilians towards the procurement of weaponry. The formation of the Marxist-Leninist League of Tigray, MLT, marked a pivotal ideological shift, as the TPLF sought to consolidate power under a unified revolutionary banner. With the rise of the MLLT, dissent within the TPLF ranks was swiftly quashed as dissenting cadres faced elimination. Collaborating with the EPDM, the TPLF laid the groundwork for the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front, EPRDF, a coalition poised to challenge established norms. By April 1990, the TPLF devised the Ethiopian Democratic Officers Movement, utilizing re-educated Ethiopian officers to undermine the Free Officers Movement, which had posed a threat to the ruling regime. May of 1990 witnessed the birth of the Oromo People's Democratic Organization, OPDO, spearheaded by Oromo members of the EPDM and politically re-educated prisoners of war. Their aim? To challenge the hegemony of the Oromo Liberation Front. Concurrently, in the same year, the TPLF established the Afar Democratic Union, strategically undermining Afar movements while consolidating its influence. In early 1988, amidst shifting international dynamics, the Eritrean People's Liberation Front, EPLF, and the TPLF launched coordinated offensives, setting aside their differences to confront common adversaries. By 1989, the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front, EPRDF, had established a shadow government, signaling its intent to govern liberated territories under its control. In February of 1991, the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front, EPRDF, launched a decisive offensive against the ruling regime, receiving crucial support from the Eritrean People's Liberation Front, EPLF. By May 28, 1991, Addis Ababa fell into the hands of the EPRDF, marking a pivotal moment in Ethiopia's history. With the seizure of the capital, the EPRDF swiftly established the transitional government of Ethiopia.
የዛሬዋን ዕለት ሳሞግስ ታላቅ ደስታ ይሰማኛል። ጉባኤያችን ሲከፈት ከመላው የኢትዮጵያ ሕዝብና ከዓለም ሰላም ወዳድ ኃይሎች የማይታሰቡ ድርጅቶች የተለያዩ ተቃራኒ ፕሮግራሞቻቸውንና ዓላማዎቻቸውን ይዘው ነገር ግን ሰላምንና ዴሞክራሲያዊ መፍትሄን ከመሻት አንጻር ሁሉም
By May 1991, the TPLF boasted an impressive force of 80,000 fighters, supported by the EPDM with 8,000 and the OPDO with 2,000. The collective membership of the TPLF surpassed 100,000, solidifying its dominance. Responding to shifting global dynamics, the EPRDF and TPLF underwent ideological transformation, embracing multi-party politics, constitutional democracy, and ethno-linguistic federalization, relinquishing their Marxist roots. Throughout the tenure of Prime Minister Meles Zenawi, Ethiopia experienced a transition from a one-party state to a dominant party state, characterized by authoritarian governance under the umbrella of the EPRDF. As Ethiopia navigated the complexities of ethnically federalized governance, the legacy of the EPRDF endured, shaping the nation's trajectory well into the 21st century.